Hey there, how are you doing today? I'm Kat from Kat Brown Photography, and I've put this wee video together to give you a few tips on how to choose a wedding photographer. If you've just got engaged, congratulations. It's a super exciting time for you, and at the same time there's so many different things that you need to organise. Dresses, catering, venues, you know, who to invite, for example. And one of the things you need to think about too is wedding photography. There are heaps of wedding photographers out there, so how do you know if you're going to choose the right one? Do you even need one? Can you get your friend to do the photography for you? Anyway, a few different things to think about. I'm going to cover these for you today. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about why you need a wedding photographer. Where do you actually find them? Once you've got a whole bunch of them, how do you choose the right one? How much should you spend on it? What about all that paperwork, all the contracts and things? And then how about the albums and files and prints and all these things to think about. So I'm going to cover all that for you, plus I'm going to give you a few tips, and hopefully in about 5 minutes you'll be able to make a better decision. Okay, so why do we even need a wedding photographer? Well, I like to think about it like this. It's a very personal decision. For me, I have my parents' wedding photos, which I love to look at, and I have ever since I was a kid. And I was so pleased that they had someone there taking photos on the date. Thank you, Uncle Bill, you're a star. And sometimes we all have an Uncle Bill, someone who's a very good photographer, but sometimes we don't. So you need to get someone who's a professional in, who's got experience, who's got expertise, who's got the equipment. So, how do you actually find your wedding photographer? Well, personally, when I'm looking for someone to provide a service for me, what do you do? Yeah, ask your friends. So, first step, I would always ask around all my friends, see who they've had, have a look at their photos, see if you like any. That's always a very, very easy way. That's the number one. The number two is have a little search online. That's always really handy. Look up, just do a Google search for your area wedding photographer, see who comes up, have a look at their photos. Let your fingers do the walking. Bridal expos in your area, you can always shoot along to those, see which wedding photographers are there. They're always really good because you get to talk to the wedding photographer as well as see their photos. And the next thing is obviously magazines. That's always handy too. And then of course you've got things like in New Zealand, the NZIPP, the New Zealand Institute of Professional Photographers. So look, whichever country you're in, look at the professional photography associations, and they have lists of photographers in different areas. Okay, so how much is it all going to cost you? Well, it really depends on a few things, like exactly what it is that you're going to have at the end. Are you going to have an album? Are you going to have prints? Are you going to have canvases, digital files, gallery, DVD, all of that kind of thing? That creates the package that you'll be receiving. Also, exactly how long is the photographer going to be shooting? But hey, let's just give you an average so you've got something to work on. I would say, in my opinion, in New Zealand, now these are New Zealand dollars, you're looking at around about $2,000 to $4,000 for a full wedding coverage. Having said that, you can pay a lot less for someone who hasn't got that much experience, but you're going to get what you pay for, I can tell you that. The other thing is you can pay a lot more, and it depends on things like how much experience the photographer's got, and mainly how in demand they are. Wedding photography is one of those things when people are very popular and they have a lot of experience, they take fantastic photos, then people really, really want them, and those photographers often cost a lot more. It's a bit like buying a Mercedes as opposed to buying a Toyota. Paperwork's a big part of organising your photographer. Make sure that you're filled in booking forms, make sure that you've got some sort of agreement, a contract, terms and conditions, something that's going to be adhered to that is a legal binding agreement, so you know exactly what you're going to be getting from your photographer. Okay, so let's talk about copyright. What exactly is it? Well, copyright is ownership of artistic activity. So what does that mean? That means, ding, I've taken a photo of you, I've just made an artistic action, that photo is copyrighted and it belongs to me. Copyright rules are slightly different around the world, so if you're interested, make sure you do a bit of your own research. Now, one thing is that you can sell copyright if you want to, so if you want to sell the ownership of your artistic action, that's okay too. Now, what's very common with photographers is in the olden days when people used film all the time, they used to hold the negatives back. You'd buy the prints, photographers would hold the negatives. These days, some photographers hold the digital negatives, some of them sell them. So it's slightly different now. You've got to really look at the package, look at the contract, talk to your photographer and work out exactly what they do. Okay, so let's talk a wee bit about albums. After you've had all your wedding photos done, it's really fantastic to put them somewhere, and it's also great to be able to share albums with other people. It's very common for brides and grooms to have their own album and then to give albums to their parents, because don't we all know that our parents love to show off when we're looking fantastic? Grandparents too, let's be honest. Most professional photographers offer albums. You can also, of course, make your own album, but the benefit of going with a professional is that they have a lot of experience in working with album production companies and designers to create a fantastic and long-lasting heirloom for you. When you look at what different photographers offer, you'll come across a few different terms like dry mounted, flush mounted, just plain mounted, magazine style, coffee table style. All these different kinds of albums now that are available, so I'm just going to briefly go through each one to tell you what they are. First of all, dry mounted. Now that's a very classic technique of making prints from the day and actually attaching the prints onto that very traditional black album paper with special little adhesive corners. If it's mounted, dry mount, it has an actual mount around it. If it's flush mount, they mean that it's pushed right to the edge of the paper. Now, if it's a magazine style or a coffee table style, instead of actually printing out the photographs individually and sticking them on, they'll be designed using a piece of software on the computer and then printed as one large sheet, and those large sheets will be put together to make the albums for you. Sometimes the sheets are printed onto actual photo paper, sometimes special acid-free card, and sometimes paper. Now, if you are getting a magazine or coffee table style album, you want to just check the quality of the paper. Some of it is fantastic, it will last a lifetime. Other quality is lower, and you want to make sure that the photographer isn't going for anything like that. So just double check before you accept that kind of album. Okay, and my last point here is just to briefly tell you about file size. I won't go to any scientific specifications, of course, but just to let you know that double check when you are getting digital files, if that's how you're receiving your images, just double check what kind of file size you're going to get. Obviously the file size affects the resolution of the photo, and the resolution of the photo affects how it looks on a printout, and that's what really matters to you. Okay, so you've seen a bunch of photographers, you quite like a lot of them, but who do you really choose? Do you go on your budget? Do you go on what packages they offer? Go on only two things. You've got to love their photos, and you've got to really like them as a person. Because the thing is, your wedding photographer is someone you're going to spend the whole day with. It's really important you feel really relaxed with your photographer and feel like you're able to tell them things and give them ideas if there's certain shots that you might like to have either before the day or on the day. You want to have someone that you really trust. That's really important. So from me to you, enjoy your big day, have a great time. Remember, those shots are going to be with you forever, and they're going to be with your children and with your children's children too, and onwards and onwards. So it's a really big and special occasion. I was really pleased to be able to give you some information today. If you need any more help or have any questions, don't hesitate wherever in the world you are just to send me an email. It's katbrownphoto@extra.co.nz. If you go to my website down below, I've got a few extra tips too. I thought I might have time to tell you today, but I've run out of time. So just shoot to my website, and it was great having you along today. Good luck. Like